Well, we're back. Yes, we are still at Chorley, and we are getting ready to start our third season here, their second season in the Vanarama National League. So we've got some transfer news for you and the first game of the season. Hey, it's Mike, manager of Chorley. Welcome to season 3, episode 1, our transfer special and start of the season here at Chorley. And we have done some transfers. We are here at the 30th of July, and this is what our transfers have looked like so far for this season. So, leaving at the end of last season, we did have Rafael Garcia. I didn't realize he was on a non-contract. He was a good young player for us breaking into the team. Blackpool came in and offered him a contract, and so then I offered him an actual contract, but he decided to go to Luton, which apparently was his favorite team. Daniel Lowy, our left back, has also left to go to Blackpool under 23. So we lost him. And then also on the way out, Nick Jones is out on the loan. Lewis Isherwood, who is one of our youth, left on a free transfer to Eaton Borough. Before the transfer window ticked over, we made a couple of signings. First, we brought in John Lee Yufko, a 19-year-old Englishman, 2.5-star current ability, potentially 4-star ability. He's a left back, so he replaces the guy who just left, Lowy. He comes to us from Leicester, where he was released, and so he comes in as more of a left back, maybe more of a depth player, as you'll see why he's more of a depth player in a little bit here. We've brought in Henry Ogungbi on loan to be our attacking right midfielder. He's got a good ability for us, 21-year-old Nigerian. He's on loan from Blackburn. He made a couple of appearances for Wickham a couple seasons ago, but hasn't really played all that much. But he should be a good player for us out on loan. Then the new season ticked over, and we made some signings. So all of them on the free. Tommy Williams is a defensive right midfielder to bring some depth there. Moore wasn't great ever there, so hopefully Tommy Williams will be a little bit better. He's a 20-year-old Englishman, 3-star current ability, 3.5 to 4.5 potential ability. He comes to us from Sheffield United, where he was released. So he comes up in our right back. Sam Blackman comes on a free from Stockport. He's replacing, I'm already forgetting names. The guy who we had on loan, Morley or something, we had on loan from Scunthorpe. So he comes in, 27-year-old Englishman. He comes from Stockport, where he only made 2 appearances on a 6.0 in League 2. But before that, he played for Concord, where he made 40 appearances, 1 goal, 6 assists on a 6.94 in the Vanarama National South. So maybe League 2 is a little bit above where he was, and hopefully National League is kind of his sweet spot, and we'll see him do some good stuff for us here. Just bring some midfield depth in there. And this is our new starting left back, Brandon Horton. He is also our new vice captain, replacing Baines, because he's got a leadership of 13. Baines had a leadership of 8. He's 3 ability, 4 potential, 4 to 5 potential ability. He comes off of Doncaster, where he was released. He did have a season in the Vanarama North for 21 games, 2 assists, 6.66 with Guiseley while he was on loan there from Doncaster. We signed him on a permanent for us here at Chorley. And finally, just came in just before the first game that we're playing here is Ollie Younger, a 22-year-old center back, 6 foot. He's got not great bravery, but really good heading. He's got good potential as well. He comes to us from Sunderland, who is released. He played a few games for St. Pat's Athletic on loan from Burnley, where his first club. And so those are the signs so far that we've made. We've had some troubles with just our reputation. We had offered lots of contracts to really good, especially in the center midfield. That looked like we were really going to up our midfield quality, but they also received contracts from a bunch of other people and going to other teams. I know Ebbsfleet stole one that I really wanted from us, so they just had the better reputation. And then Hull City took one, which, I mean, they're up in the Championship or the Premier League area, so that is understandable for a couple of good young players there. But that is who we have brought in so far. And as we look at the competitions, we finished in 8th last year, and we were predicted to finish in 16th that year. This year, we have gotten some improvement. Oh, no, we haven't. It's dropped us down to 18th. Actually, that's where we predicted last year, I think, was 18th as well. Before I had checked and made all these signings, we were predicted to be up into 13th and 12th. So it has dropped us down with some of those, and we don't have any of our players in the key players there. Do we make any on this list here? Ogungbi, who we have on loan, is on that list there, as is Tomlinson, who did have a good season for us. Though my pre-season press conference, they said Wodu will be the one who really decides for us, or that's what they asked anyway. So we'll see. But yeah, so the reputation is really hard. I did ask the board to go full-time. They said they want to be established at this spot before we go full-time. So no full-time there, but they did raise the wage for our coaches. So that's it. That's about all the changes that we have made. As you can see, Bath and Oxford City and Boston United and Gateshead were promoted in. Chesterfield and Stockport, the two who were relegated down. Scunthorpe is the favorites to be promoted this year. And so we will kick off our first game of the season here. We are playing newly promoted Oxford City away, but we are the favorites going into the match. And this is how we are lining up for this game. We are going to bring Leather out on the right D because he's the captain, so I want to give him at least the first start, and we'll give him a chance to play out there, but he may be quickly replaced by Williams. Hilton's in net. I jumped the gun there. Hilton's in net. Leather out right. Kennedy and Baines are going to play in the center defensive position, with Horton, the new guy Horton, making his debut on the left back. Tomlinson and Nguesson continue their center mid partnership there. Newbies coming out left. Ogungbi is making his debut out right. Riley's going to play as the shadow striker, and Cardwell will be up front as the target man as we start off season 3 against Oxford City. With a couple of debuts here, and we'll see what we can do with this season. We have finished our coaching course. We are up to a Continental A license, so maybe we'll start grabbing some looks from higher ups, but definitely this transfer window has made me a little bit more open to leaving Chorley, just because I haven't been able to sign players due to the Chorley's reputation, I believe it is. So we may be looking to move on there. We've got a highlight right off the kickoff as Oxford City will pass it all the way back to their goalkeeper, who will launch it forward. Kennedy will in the air over to Newby. Newby will dribble by and carry it down the left-hand side, where he'll take an early cross into Ogungbi, who rattles it off the crossbar on his first touch in the game. We are going to change this because we are no longer on this year's or last year's end of season push. So we are dominating so far with 61% of the possession and all the attacking thus far. So hopefully this continues. We do have a corner. Newby puts it in. The goalkeeper misses it. Cardwell's shot gets blocked, and now Oxford City is coming the other way with Owusu coming down that left-hand side. Great tackle by Riley, coming all the way back to make that tackle. And we continue on into the 14th minute, where it is all us dominating, but we have not yet been able to put anything into the net. So we have got to solve that. We are going to push up positive since we are dominating more. Try to push it forward a bit more here, especially the 66% of the possession. I forgot to show you my club vision, so I'll try to remember to do that after this game. But after some quick few highlights at the beginning, it is starting to peter out, though our attacking continues with 2 shots on target and 7 attempts, and now they have a corner kick which they head over, which should end the half there at 0-0. Leather not playing great on the right-hand side, but we're still dominating. I'm going to tell the attackers that I'm expecting much more to come from them. So we go into the next half. Leather hasn't been great. Tomlinson hasn't been great. Riley hasn't been great. So those are the guys who are in contention for being subbed off here in this second half if we can't get anything going. And it's getting to that point as we are entering into the 60th minute. And around 65 here, we are going to make the pause and make some changes. I am going to bring in Boadu in for Riley as our shadow striker. And the defense is not really going to change much of our attacking, but we will try. We're bringing Williams. We're going to move him up into the supporting role. Horton will move into, well, he's more better as a defender. We'll keep him defending. And we will move Newbie as more attacking. So the one sub, or two subs, one sub, but making some role changes there, and hopefully we can see if that will make the difference. As we come into the 75th minute, they have a throw-in. Harper will throw it into Higginson, who will pass it back to Ashby. Newby will take that ball, and now we're on the counter with Cardwell on the ball. He's going to play it out wide to Newby. Newby's going to come into the center, and he's going to launch it way over the net and bring an end to that highlight as we come into the 75th minute. Oh, we have a highlight. So before I make the subs, we'll watch this highlight. Kennedy is going to give the free kick into Williams. Williams will pass it in the middle to Nguesson. Nguesson will play it out wide to Newby. Newby will keep the ball in play, get the ball over to Boadu, who will put it into Cardwell, who will put it into the bottom right corner and score his first goal of the season, starting our campaign as we go up 1-0 in the 75th minute. Newby does a great run to keep that ball in play, touches it over into Boadu, who has all the space to turn and pass it right into Cardwell's feet, who's not going to miss. Well, he shouldn't be missing at that range, and he does not, and we go up. And with that, we'll make our last two subs. We will bring in... Who will we bring in? We will move Baines out to the left. Horton's going to come off. He hasn't been great, and we will bring Bailey into that center defense. And we will also look to... Oh, no, that's all our subs. Yes, Williams, Bailey, and Boadu. Okay, that's all our subs. I did make two subs last time. And so that will wrap up our subs for this game, and we look to keep this 1-0 lead to start off our campaign in a good spot here as we come into the 84th minute. Still, we are pretty much all over them. They've had quite a few chances at our net, but nothing substantial. Hilton will take the goal kick, and he'll kick it out wide to Williams, who will carry it down that right-hand side before passing it over to Tomlinson. Back to Williams, who will launch it forward for Boadu, who's not going to get there, but he's going to put the pressure on Pascal, who will pass it back to their keeper, who's going to launch it forward. Bailey loses out in the air, but it just comes back to Baines, who will put it into Agumbi, who finds space, crosses it, a perfect cross into Cardwell, who's going to score his second of the game. Great pass by Agumbi as we go up 2-0, and that should wrap it up. Baines will get that ball, a great ball out into space for Agumbi. One great ball leads to another great ball by Agumbi, and Cardwell will just pop it into that bottom left corner. And, it says a tight offside. Let's see how tight it was. I think their far side guy was keeping them on there. Their right back was keeping them on. But we have a highlight right off the bat in the 87th minute here. Will they answer back right away? They're up to their strikers. No, they're tackled by Agumbi, who gets the ball again. He's going to carry it slowly down that right-hand side. Surrounded by a couple of people, he passes back to Tomlinson, who will put it into Boadu. Boadu will shoot from the odd angle, and it's going to be saved. And that's the end of that highlight. It was almost made it 3-0 there. But we've definitely secured the win, and it looks like we will be sitting in third place because of the win and the goal differential. It's a great start to a season. Our subs that came off didn't play great, but everyone else had a great game. Very pleased with the result and the performance. And that is a good way to start the season. But that is a good start for us there. This will be a shorter episode, which is fine, just because wasn't able to get as many of my signings as I had hoped. So we will come back together again. I think we will look at the start of the month in September, where we'll play newly promoted Boston United, and we'll play Wealdstone in 2 away games there. And that is when we will come back together for our next match. So I hope you enjoyed the start of Season 3, and so give a like to this video, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time on Up the Ladder.